Hi gals, welcome back to another episode of Zero Waste Closet. So I recently came across a video, and I'm sure there are gazillions out there on YouTube that I will link below here on some of the upcoming trends to keep your eye on in 2025 for spring coming up. And as somebody who is trying to be much more minimalistic with my wardrobe and trying to keep it concise, I love my 10-piece French capsule wardrobe. You know, I don't want to get too caught up in going down the trend rabbit hole just because that's a really easy way to spend too much money on things that might not last. But I also like to stay up to date, and I like to stay nice and edgy. And I love the challenge of maybe nodding to a trend that I think is extra wearable without having to change my entire wardrobe. So as I was listening to this presentation, one of the trends that really intrigued me was this focus, and something you're seeing on the runways, on sheer see-through fabrics, meshes especially. And that can be a very tricky trend to make wearable in daily life, but I liked it because my style words, you'll know if you've been following me, are ladylike, cool, and classic. And sheer can be very feminine, lacy. It can be cool because it can be quite edgy, maybe a little bit daring, a little bit sexy, and it can be made classic based on the pieces that you pair it with. So I thought this is a great challenge. And I just so happened to be out shopping at, of all places, lately, one of my obsessions, Target, just because they have fun little things you can pop in, and I really see just a huge evolution in the way Target has been presenting fashion lately. And so I was out shopping with my daughter. I came across a piece that I'm going to show you guys right here, and I thought, oh, this is going to be a great one. This doesn't take up a lot of closet space. This is definitely going to challenge my creativity, but if you guys like what I do with this, maybe this will inspire you. So we're going to take a look at 5 different ways that I integrated this into my existing capsule wardrobe and see if we can actually make this wearable for daily life. So let's take a look. I definitely found that one of the easiest ways, and probably the most broadly wearable ways to integrate the see-through top, is to simply pair it back to jeans and put it under a blazer. And you could really honestly do the same thing with a cardigan. You could do this with a duster, but it's just that light layering piece underneath where you're kind of just getting a pop of the sheer coming out. It's a little bit serious, a little bit sexy. I just love the hint of lace paired back to something a little more businessy. So for me, this is something I could see wearing day or night. For this next one, I decided to get just a little bit more creative. I love the whole idea of an all black outfit, and you guys know I have this great layering top that I love, but it is short sleeve, and right now it is wintertime, and I've got the black flowy pants, so altogether a really nice look, but pretty classic, fairly basic. But then you add the sheer top in underneath, and I think that's when you might not think to do is put something long sleeve and sheer underneath another short sleeve top that you really love, and it completely changes the look. It has a little bit of this just kind of like Coco Chanel vibe that I really love, and I definitely feel a little more dressed up, a little more elevated, and frankly a little more covered up, but in such a subtle, sexy way. I don't know about you guys, but when I'm wearing a sweater, I always have to have something underneath. And for me, it's just usually a really basic tank. Well, I decided to think outside the box here, and this particular sheer piece has a bit of a mock turtleneck to it. And I thought, how interesting to pair it back just to a crew neck sweater and then put a chunky piece of jewelry on top, like this great Brighton necklace, roll up the sleeves of the sweater, let the sheer sleeves peek out from underneath. So the common theme you're going to be seeing here is that this sheer top is always just giving off a little hint. I'm never showing the whole thing. It's just an unexpected pop of lace, and then paired back to the denim, it's just a nice contrast of fabrics. And I love the just creative layered look here. I think this is definitely one I can see easily wearing any day of the week. This next outfit for me is definitely a little more daring. I feel like this is channeling kind of my confident inner Parisian gal. So I take a lovely silky slip dress here, something that is hanging in my wardrobe that I may be bringing back for spring. And it has a very low neckline. It does have adjustable straps, but I often just feel like that deep V is pretty low for me. So I layer it on top of the sheer top, and it just definitely makes it more wearable. Throw a bomber jacket on top for just that little extra added bit of coverage. I have a lot of different fabrics going on here. There's a whole lot of contrast. I have the cool edginess of the jacket with the femininity and the sexiness of the blouse, and just the beautiful silky slip dress for, again, the added touch of femininity. And this, to me, feels like a great date night look. And gals, last but not least, this is one I absolutely could not wait to experiment with, is the idea of taking some sort of one piece, especially a romper. There's a lot going on here that I really love. So I love the denim and the lace. Denim and lace, wonderful contrast of fabrics always. You've seen it paired back to jeans, back to the denim skirt. Really, really love that pairing. And the other thing that is going on here that I find so chic, I'm really thinking of integrating this jumpsuit into my spring capsule, and that is the white on white. I just think it's very clean and very beautiful, very kind of elegant and elevated looking, and I just think that jumpsuit offers something awesome. And it also is just worth mentioning that when you bring in the sheer, it doesn't turn up the heat, and a lot of us get extra hot all day long, especially if we live in Arizona. So it's a nice way to layer without turning the heat up too much. So gals, depending on the pieces that you have in your current wardrobe and depending on your style words, you may be able to think of dozens of additional ways to style sheer that really work for you. But I hope this got your wheels turning and really showed you that you can take a trend like this, again, without having to change up your entire wardrobe, and just find ways to integrate it. And you don't need a whole lot of pieces. This will probably be the only piece that I buy on the sheer front for the coming season and integrate it into my wardrobe. And right there, I've just made my wardrobe a little bit edgier and a little bit more up to date. So if you guys liked this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. You know that really helps this channel, and that definitely gives me guidance when it comes to making future videos. It lets me know what you guys like and what resonates with you. And of course, if you haven't already, make sure that you go on here and subscribe to Zero Waste Closet. Just click that little button, and that way you get notifications whenever I come out with new videos, which is pretty much every single week. Have a great one, gals, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.